Let me put my questions up. Dang. Let's see. Okay, you got anything to say before we start?
No. Hey.
Okay. Okay, so who are you and where are you from?
My name is Jasmine Barnett. I hail from Baltimore, Maryland, East Baltimore to be exact.
I'm dead. Okay, so my second question is, what is your sexual identity / gender? Or your, that's
My
the question.
gender identity is she, her. I'm sorry, female.
Mhm.
I identify she, her. I am bisexual.
Okay, right,
Yeah.
great. That's great. So did you grow up with both parents in the house? Yes or no?
No, they weren't in the house together, but I had both parents involved in my childhood and life overall.
Nice. And how did that affect you growing up? Like, how did that parental dynamic affect you growing up?
It was a difficult one because them not being in the same household, it was for the better for them to not be in the same household, but them not being in the same household was a difficult dynamic because they were trying to parent from, I felt like, two opposite sides of the world type situation, and I would have to kind of like, you know, just it'd be like a guideline because but I wasn't really a bad child and they didn't really have any problems with me, but them having separate opinions and me growing up and how I was supposed to grow up was kind of an issue. Like, they would argue sometimes in front of me, sometimes not in front of me, but still take it out on each other when talking to me, like, you know, your fault, or tell me about it. And then that kind of like, as a young adult, well, not a young adult, as a young adult now, I see both sides because I'm a parent. But before, it was kind of like you idolize your parents as to be these, like, they my parents, and then you see their faults and you start to look at one differently, but that's just because you're a child and you don't really understand it at the point in time.
Okay, so you say you have a child, or you're a parent. How many children do you have?
One. I got a little boy. His name is Harmon.
Wonderful. Now, I'm sorry. Now, you said sometimes your parents growing up, they were like fighting stuff in front of you. Like, did that affect like how you view relationships or how you act in relationships now?
It does.
Okay.
Okay, so since my parents were not together, and I always seen my mom has never really been in a solid relationship while she was married one time, but it was not that solid of a relationship. And even in that marriage, she was the more dominant one. Like, she was the breadwinner when she was married because he didn't work.
Right.
Like, I've always seen that dynamic where the woman is she's the Superman, Superwoman in this sense, and the man is always he is obsolete, or he can be, and like you it doesn't really matter who, like, you could live without him. It doesn't really matter. So I've always seen that, and I feel like I live my life like that now. Like, I don't really, like, if a man is there, so what? Like, if he ain't adding nothing, he can still be there because I'm gonna still do it by myself. But even though I shouldn't have that, it shouldn't be like that, you know. I'm changing that. If he ain't doing nothing, he can skedaddle.
Alright. Tell him how you feel. Okay, so did you grow up around gang activity?
Probably. I'm gonna say probably because I was very much the green kid. Just the kid that was just like, wow, they're having a good time. What are they doing over there? Like, they would stand on the corner, but I just thought they was waiting for something. Like, it was never something that I thought or put two and two together until I got a certain age, and I was like, wow, okay.
Okay. Well, a follow-up question to that question is, do you have any family that's incarcerated or that lived that life?
Yeah. I don't know if they in jail now, but they was. And for a minute, too. Some of them still very much blooding. I don't think I got no Crip cousins. I'm sorry if you're my cousin and you're a Crip and I forgot about you. But my cousins is blooding. But, yeah.
I'm dead. Okay, so did growing up around that, did that like change like how you view things? Like, you know how people in the world are like, they're not used to stuff like that, so like, that make it more.
It just was the real world, kind of like, so like, okay, and it's funny because my dad is an officer, he's a police officer, so I had to see, like, I was code switching from a young age at that point, because I would be around my mom's side of the family who's rowdy and about that life. They really do that. And then when I'm with my dad, I'm like, you know, I have I'm Jasmine. Like, I have to uphold this being Jasmine. So it was kind of cool because I got to see both sides. And my dad also got to see both sides because he lived in a life very similar. Being in Baltimore, you live basically one life and then you choose which way you kind of want to go.
Right.
So he lived a very similar life to everyone that lived in Baltimore City at the time, and then you choose which way you want to go. So he's probably seen the best of both worlds. But it's just the real world, so you can see it like that.
Right. So growing up, what kind of kid were you in like high school, middle school? Like, what kind of kid were you growing up?
Middle school, I was the kid. I was always hyped to go to the bookstore. I was that kid.
Right.
I'm about to go get the newest Goosebumps. I'm about to go get the newest Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I was a kid at the time. I was just a kid, like, you know, preteen. Mindless behavior was my life. Wet pad. The girls that get it. Like,
Right.
we was there.
I'm dead.
And then high school, I was a theater kid. I got really into being like on stage and musicals and being backhand and working in makeup and stuff. So I got into that. I always so tried sports, but sports was never my thing, girl. That's not for me. Dance, but I can't dance. I like to be choreographed to dance. Like, can't do it on my own. Put a beat on and I'm be like,
You can't freestyle?
yeah, 2 left feet for real.
I'm weak. So like growing up in school, like were there like teachers who like impacted your journey, whether that be good or bad?
Yes, a teacher that impacted my journey. Bad, I'm not gonna say no names, but she was an elementary school teacher, and I remember her reading, like she was reading our write-ins, and I spelled a word wrong. I'm not sure I said that right. I spelled the word wrong, and she said she said, oh, they spelled it D-O, it was does, and I spelled it like does or something like that, and she was just, she said it out loud, the class laughed, I had to laugh along, but I knew it was your people. Yeah, so then I was like, after that, I kind of was just like, all right, bitch, you can't have people laughing at you no more. You gotta just be smart as fuck. Like, you gotta just try to do that. And then once I got to high school, I always say Miss Gaddy. I love Miss Gaddy. She impacted my journey in a positive way. She was it was like 3 or 4 black teachers at the time, maybe 2 or 3, but at the time of my high school. And at that time in high school, it was like a really like racially motivated era at that time. Like, so her being a black teacher and her basically saying, I see you, you know, for being this black girl, it's kind of like she made me feel really good. I fuck with Miss Gaddy. And yeah.
So she was a black woman?
Yeah. I still talk to Miss Gaddy. That's my rule. Facebook friends now.
Okay. Now that you go, y'all can be Facebook friends.
I know, right?
So playing off that, do you think there should be more black teachers in the school? Cause you said she was a black woman.
Yeah, I feel like there should be more. I feel like there should also be more black male teachers, because we don't often see black male teachers a lot of the time unless they like gym teachers or something. But like more black teachers, period, because you never really know what somebody is going through, especially in these predominantly white areas. When there are black kids, there needs to be more black teachers in those schools so they can feel like they can connect to somebody, someone, like they can connect on a deeper level to somebody. Like, they don't have to always have this face of, you know, that one face where you just go throughout the world and just, you know, whatever. They should have somebody that they can be like, all right, like, I'm really feeling like this today, like I'm really feeling bad, and they won't judge them. I know that's what the guidance counselor is for, but sometimes the guidance counselor is not. They don't understand. They're not gonna guide you. They're not for the guidance. They just for the counseling.
Right.
Like, so yeah.
Barely even know.
Barely, because they don't even know what HBCUs is. But that's another story.
That's another story for another day. So, is there any crazy or traumatic events that have happened to you in your life that you don't mind talking about right now? Obviously.
Yeah. So the one was I was talking about that one time. The man pulled a gun on me and my sister because he wanted her phone number. But I don't know if that's. I think that's. I'm pretty sure that's what it was because that's all I remember. And I was just like, whoa. A gun? They be having them on GTA. Like, that's all I was thinking about was GTA. I was like, bro, this is crazy. So after that happened, we caught a hack to my house, and I was just like,
for the people that don't know, in the comments that don't know what a hack is, can you please tell them what a hack is?
A hack is the person driving around and they call and they gonna give you a ride for a fee, like that you just and they pick you up and they be like, oh, where you wanna go? And then, you know, like a cab, but it's not really a cab service. He random. So, in time of emergency, you really need a hack. So then, yeah, we went home. I told my mother, and they were just, nobody ever really said nothing after that. I'm not even sure if anybody really remembers that because, you know, sometimes stuff happens and people put it in the back of their mind and it never really resurfaces. But that was like one of the few memories that I had from like the early 2000s, like the early 2005.
Like your early childhood.
Yeah. So that's one of the few memories I have. What's the one? I got hit going on the, I almost got hit by a car going to the ice cream truck. Yes. So my street, this is also the early 2000s. We was wilding back then.
Right.
The street was a one-way street and people used to fly down that street. But the ice cream man was in the street, so it wasn't like coming on the street. So then it was a little bit of room in the street. And I looked both ways. We're like, oh yeah, look both ways. I looked left again, and I just went to go out. When I went out, somebody was flying up the backwards up the one-way street. And then the lady across the street, her name was Mommy. That was the hood nickname for her. Her name was Mommy. Mommy was like, Jazz. So Mommy, when she said that, I jumped back because she scared me. And then he just like hit the car, hit my arm, like turned me around type shit, burned my arm a little bit, and I was just like, whoo. That could have been flat on the ground, no ice cream today.
Nothing.
I didn't miss the ice cream truck though. Like once I broke down in tears because I'm dramatic, and then I ran in the house and broke down in some more tears. And then my mother called my father. So you know, it got crazy, it got real, and I got my ice cream and went about my day. Oh, Clark Atlanta. Let me tell you. Let me tell you about the.
That's a good segue because my next question was going to be asking you about where you go to school currently. Do you go to school or work currently?
Oh, right now? Oh, so I'm in transitioning jobs. Let me tell you about this job first. I was doing security, allied security. Basura. I'm gonna just say that.
Basura.
I mean, maybe in your city it may be better, but in Atlanta, and ain't all that. But now I work for a company, or I will be working for a company. I'm in like training to work for a company that is called Florida Autism Site Center Services. I believe it's services, but basically we provide therapy services to children with autism. So it's in my field, ABA therapy. I'm excited to start that job.
Oh,
and
congratulations.
Thank you.
W's in the chat for Jasmine for getting that job.
And then Clark Atlanta. I go to Clark Atlanta. I'm a senior, a psychology major. And let me tell you, sophomore year was wild. Sophomore year was the wildest year. Because freshman year was a great time. Like, it was a movie. Now that I look back, freshman year was a movie.
Feature film.
For real. Super Bowl was in Atlanta. Everything. Like, it was a movie.
Super Bowl was in Atlanta right here.
And then sophomore year was the worst freaking sequel I have ever. Like, if the sequel to a movie is bad, that was 2020. That was 2019. And
2019.
We came back. No, really 2020, because 2019 was really, the movie started off good. It was starting off good with sophomore year.
You're right.
Everything was happening. Then niggas talking about COVID. I was like, I never heard of that. And then Kobe died. And then I was like, oh my God. And then we get sent home. So everything was really tragic. But at the beginning of that year.
Sophomore year Pop died too.
Oh my gosh. See? Trash ass year. So before that, that's when they was having a little party in front of the library. And me and Makeda, was like, yeah, let's go smoke from the library.
Chill.
Let's chill out. You know, we was with Maya and Elise.
We wasn't
They
with
was
them. Oh, they was still in the house.
they was in the and they was making macaroni and cheese.
Yes.
And we went outside, smoked, and then all of a sudden we was like pop. I was like, It was like pop pop pop. So we was like, oh my god! Everybody had to get up and just start running. And it was like had to be like
it was
hella people. It was just hella people out there.
At least 100 people.
Yeah, like
it was people from Clarios, people from Spelman,
Morehouse,
Georgia State. Because I remember it was the day before classes had started.
And they was having just a little function. That was crazy. We had to jump over fences. I had on sandals. I was like, Makeda was right there. So I was like, okay, like, as long as nothing is wrong out of the ordinary. We ran around the block. The girl got shot. We seen her. I was like, oh my gosh.
I got shot in the leg.
That was insane. That was really a tragic experience. Clark Atlanta.
That was scary.
That was insane. And
it was almost movie-like.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing people I know in the crowd, like, literally, like, running for their life, panicking, like, that's the cat in there.
He's about to eat the chip.
He is.
You in the chip bag?
He is in the chip bag. Hold on. This is crazy.
I'm dead.
Oh. Get down. Come on. I just rolled it up. But, yeah, continue.
And, let me see, is there another experience? Let's talk about them. None that I can think about anymore. But yeah.
Next.
They was crazy. Them experiences as well.
Yeah. Them experiences is crazy. Fun fact. That year or the 2 years. Every time I was about to die, you know. I was with Jasmine.
We was together.
That's
so,
a fact.
That one time, oh my god, we almost got kidnapped trying to get some McDonald's.
Oh, yeah. I'm dead. Because they was really out to get us. Like they was really out.
The man, whoever this man is, while he was with the Uber, he was like, hey.
Yeah, he got out the car and everything, bro. Because I was looking. I remember looking at my phone like, I don't look like the license plate.
And then he just sitting there. Right. So we like, oh, that's obviously.
And then he honked the horn, told me.
Yeah. See, we was almost roast beef, y'all. Like, it was almost tuna cans, for real.
It was curtains for us, man. Damn, that's crazy. Okay, so you said now that you wanted to, that you got a job in the psychology field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you wanted to be when you were a kid?
No, probably not. When I was a kid, I used to say stuff like veterinarian, and like I remember for a point in time saying lawyer for a while, like. But like definitely, I was going in the field of law. I was going towards lawyer when I first got to college because I was a criminal justice major my freshman year. But I changed routes because I just wasn't sure criminal justice was for me. Because after I graduated, if I didn't want to be a lawyer, the only route I could go, it wasn't that many routes I felt like I could go in criminal justice. But psychology, it was kind of a broad thing. You can get into a lot of different things just by being psychology. So I did that. So, but I definitely wanted to be like a veterinarian when I was little. Because I used to really like animals. And I still do like animals. Just certain ones really scare me, y'all. Like, I don't know if I'm messing with snakes and reptiles.
Well, if you're a veterinarian, you got to.
And that's scary. You see?
You gotta
bunnies.
mess with the horses.
I'm scared and I'm scared of horses. Like, Makeda and we seen that police horse. And I was shitting myself, y'all. Makeda was like,
I was touching her.
Touch the horse.
She was standing 5 feet back.
I was like, shit myself.
She was standing so far back, like, no. Because
I've never, like, it's something about them being big. And, like, at any moment, if they decide to, they can kill you. Right. It's like, and I don't like that.
So, what is your most controversial opinion ever?
I said it wasn't controversial.
Right, you did say. They don't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So what's your most controversial opinion that you believe is the most controversial?
It's controversial to a lot of like it's controversial. I feel like because people wouldn't really agree with me for the most part. A lot of some people were, some people won't. But I feel like segregation was not a bad idea. Separate but equal was really not a bad idea. And I also seen this clip on TikTok the other day, and there was this clip of asking people in Albany, Georgia in the 60s or something like that, how you felt about integrating. And they were saying like, oh, as long as the Negroes don't get rowdy, you know, we're cool about that. We're cool as long as they don't resort to violence. And I feel like the only reason they would say certain things like that is because if you think about it, if you live your life shiesty, your whole life shiesty, you always got to watch your back. And they are like, they was living their whole, like, the whole existence shiesty, treating black people like turds, for real. And now you got to live amongst them. I would be worried that any moment they gonna clap off, and then it's curtains for them. Right. So they always was just like, they're scared to live amongst us because they feel like that we gonna just get mad off of the how many years they did us dirty and snap off. That's crazy because that means you know you was doing dirty. But segregation wasn't a bad idea. Separate but equal wasn't a bad thing. If we would have really been separate but equal, we could have been a lot better as a society, as a world. The United States could have really been that in a bag of chips. It could have been all of that. Now it's just that. It's not even that.
Yeah.
Like, we could have been all of that. We could have just, I don't know. I really feel like if the world stopped the racism a while ago, we could have just been better off. But they don't know how to do that. It's not going to happen that easy. Yeah, separate equal should have. That would have been fire.
So okay, so this is what you call it, but you said separate but equal, right? That just reminded me of what's happening right now on TikTok. So how the Black History Month, they had the Black History Month event. Yeah. It was. Of course you can't say black people only. You know what I'm saying, in this kind of climate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't say black people only, but it's a Black History Month event, secret, where it was invite only. Right. And you know, there were supposed to be only black people, but
other people were invited.
Other people that got the link and were invited. How do you feel about that?
I think that's kind of like, okay, you were invited, but once you like got the memo and seen what it was as a person who was not black, even as a person of color and black they're not interchangeable for people who feel that way. Like, you're Native American, you're a person of color, you're not black, you don't have any kind of priority over black culture. I feel like black culture is ours, and to be interested, like Nicole was saying, to be interested in black culture is cool, but like, we live it. So like, we are black every day for our lives. Like, you get to learn about it, but for our lives, that's who we are. So like, for stuff like that, I feel like they should have like just took a back seat. Like, for real, they shouldn't have tried to make it the forefront. Like, they like, oh, people of color and black people come together for the movement. Like, that's great that you're all a part of the movement. Like,
you don't want to be a part of the movement
when it's convenient. When you can see Nicki Minaj, they want to be a part of the movement.
I'm telling you, if they never said, if Nicki Minaj wasn't coming,
nobody would.
They would have never came.
That's
the
fact.
People that wasn't the non-black people that joined the Zoom, they would never came.
That's a fact.
If they didn't advertise that, I bet you it would have been a different turnout.
Nobody would have came. It would have been a few people, like mostly black people.
It would have been mostly black people because it was.
I think it would have been all black.
Literally.
They've
done this, but they've done it before. That's all I understand why it was so hard.
Like, and I also was seeing this something on TikTok. It's a black, I don't know their pronouns, but a black TikToker that I follow, and they were going through like a hard time with these other white TikTokers who invited them to a I don't know what they invited them to, but some kind of like function they were invited to. And you know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
Yes, and they invited them to the function or whatever, and they're saying that they sexually assaulted them.
No,
yes,
no,
you seen that?
I seen their videos because that person does use their pronouns. But
yeah.
I've seen their videos. I've seen what happened. That's a whole mess.
It's a mess.
It's a can of worms.
Okay, cause like I'm the way like they came with the receipts. Like they came in their videos they were posting. They came with like receipts of them talking to them about certain things and saying like. And I've had relationships with white people who are like that. They flip floply. They're really like 1 minute they'll be like, you know, this is cool, and then to make it seem like something else, it'd be something totally different. And I'll be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So I don't know what that like I was watching their videos, so whatever they was talking about, I was like, damn, I ain't see the other.
I was watching both videos
I didn't see the
because
other
I follow
half.
some both. I follow a lot of those creators. Don't do it. But I'm dead. I follow a lot of those creators on TikTok. And I was seeing what they were talking about. And I was like, yeah, I can see how that could get misconstrued, and I can see how that could go completely wrong because they weren't supposed to be there in the first place.
They weren't? Why did they invite them there?
They invited themselves.
Cause okay, but then why did they? Okay, that's a whole nother conversation. We gonna have this conversation.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to the next question. Boom. Next question. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna ask this one first. Okay, so what's something that you've always wanted to say to somebody? Like, yeah, you don't have to say what it is, but what's something like you think about like this person all the time, and you be like, I really wish I could tell you this, but it's not gonna happen. But what's
I
something?
wish I could tell him that he matters and that like that. I wish I could tell him that the money didn't make him for real, and that like family is all you really needed. And I know that sounds really, if you don't understand the context and you don't understand like the context of it, it's like family can really just be that. They'll heal you if it's the right family. You gotta have the right family, but I believe that we were the right family and we would have healed him regardless. And that, yeah, we could have fixed it. Whatever it was, we didn't, we could have fixed it.
Okay. So, how do you feel your life is going right now up to this point?
I feel like it's going cool. Like, I like it because I have the power to change it, and I do have the power to do what I don't want to say what I want, but it says it really is. You have the power to do what you want, and I think it's going pretty good right now. I don't like the world and the dollar not being as much as it used to be. Girl, they gotta up to something and lower to something else because food costs too much. Places, they just want me to shrivel away and die. They do at this point, but it's going good. Gas prices too goddamn high, but it's alright.
I believe. Okay, so I only got 2 more questions for you.
Okay.
Okay, the next question is a little bit more lighthearted. Who is an artist that you are really in tune with right now? You can name your top 5 right now.
Okay.
You can name your top 5 right now that's really like in your rotation.
Okay, so Tim's, period.
Oh yeah.
Love Tim's.
Yeah.
Crazy things are happening. This California playlist that Makeda made has been heavy on my shuffle. And the song in particular that has been my favorite is called Tuka.
Oh, yeah.
By Girls Love Dev. Girls Love Dev, you did that. Who else? NBA Youngboy, because that's who the young people chose as their leader. I did pick him. YG Tech, because Baltimore nigga shit.
Right.
And Shorty.
Right.
And Shorty.
More Baltimore nigga shit.
So yeah, that's my
I
favorite.
fuck with all of those artists, I can't lie.
They my faves.
They are these. You heavily influenced by Eastern American. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know
Northeast.
Yeah, the Northeastern culture is what I meant to say.
And that one California guy, like, you know, they come up. They I wish they see. I can't wait till they season pop back up.
Yeah.
When they pop out with all their music again.
Okay, we good. All right. Last question. How did this interview go for you? How do you feel this interview went?
It was great. I loved it because I loved the questions. They were great. It was funny. It was lighthearted, and that weird man that was just yelling. I don't even know if he's gonna keep that in there, but that was that was funny too.
I think I got it. Yeah. And we okay hear him.
It was a good interview. It was a good interview overall. It was funny. I like it.
Okay, Jazz. Do you want to? It's the end of the video. End of the video. Oh my God. Do you want to shout out any of your Instagram or your socials, anything like that?
Yes, my Twitter is FreckleJazz. I think got 2 S's and an underscore, and then my not my Facebook girl. My what's the word? Instagram is Cozy Jazz at Cozy Jazz. So follow me. I might let you in.
Now you might let Cleo.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Jazz. Thank you for coming on. Thanks for talking to us.